And this tank here comes from one of the most recognisable names in the vaping industry, especially on social media and forums.
Sorry, I got that wrong. I'm doing my homework. Good old Damien beat me to the punch and got up a review for the Kayfun Prime, which is what we're here for to do tonight. Right now, hopefully this is streaming live, and I'm just casting my beady eye on chat here to make sure that it's working, and it does seem to be working. Please keep working. I apologize for any quality in the video here, because this is really just off the cuff, this whole thing. I've got a brand new webcam here and another one here, and I've got no fancy software or anything. We're just winging it. Right, let me just check. Yep, I'm live. Thank you to everybody that's commenting there. Right, this is for the Kayfun Prime. This was sent on to me by Keith and Lisa at Creme de Vape, and you will be able to buy this, I think, starting from tonight, about midnight, 11 o'clock or midnight. I think they're going live, and you'll be able to go and pick one up, and they're just over the £100 mark. Now, I pretty much, like a lot of people out there, started my journey with the Kayfuns, and I had I started with the Kayfun V3, for those of you that remember, the V3, 3.1 and plus and light and blah 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 blah, and on it went. And I didn't get on too well with the 4. I wasn't a big fan of it. I missed out the V3 and the V5 I only played with for a little while. I just, to be perfectly honest, I didn't gel with them. But they decided to send this one on to me. I've been playing with it for just over a week now, and I shall hopefully give you my humble opinions for what they're worth. But as I said earlier, if you want to check out other people's opinions, go and watch Damien's review. Now, in a nutshell, if you don't want to watch this, if you can't be arsed, I will say to you now that this is basically a V5 and a V3 mini combined. Proper mouth to lung. This, if you like air, this isn't for you. Don't bother. Go and look elsewhere, or wait for the next Kayfun tank that's coming along, which is aimed more for the cloudy viewer, or cloudy vapor, I should say. I'll show you this here. This is it. This is the little guy here. And we will go in for close-ups. I will take this to bits, and I will put a coil in it, and hopefully it'll all work. This will probably be a train wreck. I swore I would never do a live video again on my own channel, but I will give it my best shot here. Dean, the vaping biker, has kindly stepped up, and he is looking after chat there just now. So please, go easy on him. Don't give him too much grief, because I probably will not be watching. Once I've finished the close-ups and I get to the summary at the end, then I will answer any questions that you guys have, and I will not be saying ball bag, as somebody has just requested. But right, I'm going to change the camera for the close-ups. Hopefully you won't notice too much of a difference in the audio, but it might change a little bit, but we'll give it a bash and see how it goes. So I'm going to push some buttons, and hopefully things will happen. Here we go. There we go. It's working. Doink. Right. Can you guys see that? This is the Kayfun Prime. Now, this is a 22mm tank. It's stainless steel. It's 316, and it's 2mm capacity. And it is, for all intents and purposes, it's a Kayfun. Everything about it's Kayfun. It's very, very similar to the Kayfun 5. The way that your airflow control works around the bottom, the way your juice flow control works, all that very, very similar. It does, and I'll just show you this just now, it comes in a box like this. And yes, for all you people in in the EU, most of us, this will be 2mm. Down the line, I do believe there will be a bigger tank, a bigger glass tank, I think, and that's going to give you 4mm. But you obviously are not going to be able to buy that in the UK because of TPD. Right, let's get that out of the way. So we've got a fancy box. Inside that fancy box, you'll have something that will look like that. You'll have a spare glass tank in here, and you'll have this here. We also have We have spare O-rings, and we have spare terminal screws. Now, the terminal screws, you know, for your posts, you do have Phillips, and, you know, you just have your standard flatheads as well. But I'll show you them once we take this thing to bits. We've got a quartz glass tank here as well. And we also have this little thing, and there's some bump in here, nothing really to get excited about. It's not instructions or anything like that. It's just, yeah, paperwork. Right, you have to excuse me because I'm looking this way, and the PC is over that way, so I can't actually see chat. So I'm just hoping that Dean's doing a really good job. Here we go. Right, so as I said, it's 22 millimeters in diameter. And we do have up the top here, we've got an anti-heat drip tip. It's got a palm overlay. And let's just, can't see if I can get close-ups. Oh God, this takes me back to like 2012 for the way I used to record videos. Right, there we go. So hopefully you can see on the drip tip up the top there, you've got this Fomesto logo going on there. And you can also, hopefully just try and keep this in camera, you can unscrew this bit here, and hopefully down the line they will give you options for white drip tips here as well, and you'll be able to screw them in. But right now it just comes with this black one. Now, looks like, sorry, that looks like the stream's kicking in and out, but we'll stick with it. I'll just keep bashing on. Right, I'm going to take this to bits, but just before I do, I just want to show you this. When this is released, there are going to be, I don't know if you'll be able to see that, I've got engraved on there just now, St. Petersburg. There's going to be 5 Russian cities, I think. They're going to be engraved on here. This is, I know that the quality isn't that great, but I will say that the engraving isn't that great for me. It's a bit on the light side. I wish it had been a bit darker. That's a small niggle on my part, but we'll just take this thing to bits for you. So I'm just going to unscrew the base. This comes out like that. Drop that like you always do. There you go, and that's how you would fill it as well. I'll take this to bits. That comes off, and then you can take this away, and what we'll do is we'll take the glass section, we'll pop that in there, and you can see there are O-rings in there. Pop that in there, take this and pop that on there, and screw this back together. I have no issues with O-rings or tolerances or anything like that. Everything's pretty much spot on. This is possibly the important bit. This is what you want to see, is the size of the chamber in there. You can see it's a really, really small chamber. And the holes that you see around there, that's your wicking holes as well. And hopefully you can also see, get that there. There's your logo as well. But this is where the magic happens. Right, your deck. Now, you can take this from 1 mil to 2 mil. That is the, that's the draw you're going to get on it. This really is a mouth to lung tank. There's no two ways about it. It's just mouth to lung. And as I said, you can see here I've got flathead screws in there, but you could, if you wanted, to put the Phillips screws in there as well. We have various O-rings going around the base here. You can unscrew here. You can see that it does, hopefully you can see there, it's saying Prime. And we have some serial numbers and things like that going on. Shall I try and take this to bits? Should I do this live? It's possibly a very, very bad idea, but I'm not the most sensible man on the planet, so we'll just do this just now. Screw comes out like that. That comes out like that. And this is covered in e-liquid. And that comes out like that. And so you can now see the various air holes going round there. So 1 mil up to 2 mil. So I'm just going to pop that back in there, hopefully. That'll go back in. There we go. Pop this back on here. Click. And then I'll screw this back in here. Wink, that's down tight. Always make sure that that screw is tight. I did have a little bit of an issue with mine. It was my own fault. I'd taken this thing to bits, been mucking about, I hadn't tightened up the 510 and the resistance was jumping about. Tightened up the 510 pin here and everything was good and golden after that. Now, I just want to see if I can get in really close here just to show you these screws. There we go. Right. So these screws, they do, you can just see there, you know, you are going to be able to take your wire underneath the screw, and you do have like these two raised bits on here, so it does trap the wire in there. I don't have any issue with putting coils in here or trapping it. And you can see you've got your airflow slot there. Come on to daddy. There we go. So it is a proper mouth to lung. Also down here, and the same on the other side here, there are two little holes, and that's where your juice is going to come through, and it comes wicking up from underneath there. So it's all pretty straightforward. But what I'll do is I'm going to pop a coil in just now, so bear with me while I talk some rubbish. I could discuss the state of electronic music in the 80s, if you like, while I do this. If I can find a screwdriver, that is. Here we go. Let's just unscrew that from there. Wait, I'm going to unscrew this so far it'll take a flyer. No, there we go. Can't believe people do these things for fun. By that I mean record video live. You really have to be a bit twisted in the head to do this. So there we go. Right, I'm going to take this down here. Yeah, a bit of focus going on. Now, I hate to disappoint all you builders out there, but I am using a 26 gauge wire, and this is wrapped around a 3mm rod. So it's a 3mm coil. I just want to say that just to wind Damien up. But obviously, if you're using Claptons and so on and so forth, you know, you'll probably only be able to use a 2.5. But using, you know, just boring old wire like I normally do, not a problem. Now, direction of the coil, you can see my coil's going up the way here, and I'm just going to drop it in. Boink, boink, and it's just going to sit like that. It's dead easy. There's nothing exciting here. And I'll just tighten this down. See, I'm waiting for something to go majorly wrong here. Give it time, give it time. Right, there we go. So we've got a coil in there, so I'll just straighten this up. Boink, like that. There we go. Make sure that, typical Kayfun, make sure that it's raised up from the air hole so that it's not going to short out. Find some snips. Angsty, I can see you commenting in chat there. I don't care how you did it, mate. You did it the wrong way. No, I'm only kidding. Make sure that's down tight as well. There we go. Boink. And hopefully you can see that okay there. And I just need to raise that up just a little bit. And I'm happy with that. Right, let's find some cotton. Here's some I made earlier. I've absolutely no idea what this cotton is actually. Something TJ was running about with in his mouth earlier on, so it could be out of a stuffed toy, or it might actually be cotton bacon or something like that. I don't know. Put that through there. Go through it. That'll do me. Now, I found that just for cutting this one, the usual, you can see that scissors going flat up against the base there. You see that there? So putting my scissors just up to there. Listen, this is standard affair, this stuff, and just snipping it away. Boink. And there we go. That's all there is to it. Magic fingers. Doink, doink. And then I'm just going to tuck it down into that little well there. You really do not need a lot of cotton in here. I've been vaping it with an 80% VG, and it's been working just the ticket, and no problems at all. So I might just have a little bit too much there. Point, take that off. Boink, boink, boink. There we go. And you will have noticed that I've done a bloody good vape in there. I did not pulse my coil. I did not check it because we're old school and we don't have to do these things. Sorry, that was a dick thing to say there. Damien, I'm sorry, mate. Right. Let's get some juice on this. And so I'm just going to prime this up here just now. Doink, 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 doink. I've just, you know, I'm terrified that I've actually forgotten to put something back together here. But we'll just play it by ear, see how it goes. So that's on there. If I wanted, I could put it on a mod and fire it, but what the hell, let's just do that just in case. I'm using a Danny V3 here for this, and there we go, all good and golden, and that has come out just the way I wanted it. So I'm going to screw that down there like this. Keep screwing her down tight. When you screw her right down, that's what closes the juice flow control off. I'm going to put some juice in here. Sorry if I got a shot here. Doink. I will point out that it's got a really, really deep well round here now, which just makes it super easy for filling with juice. You don't get it leaking everywhere. You've also got here, round this bit here, you know, you've got these bits that you can grab onto. So if this does get stuck, it's easy enough to get on and off. Threading, no problem at all. It just goes on like that. Now, I would suggest that before you open up the juice flow control, tip the thing upside down, just turn it upside down, and then for the juice flow control, I'm just going to back it off 1, 2, 3 turns, and that's me. The rest I'm going to cover when we go back up top, and I'll talk about it there. And if you've got any questions on anything I've shown you, then we can take it from there. But one last thing before we go back up top. Most of you will know this, but just in case, there we go. Right. So turn that. That's it closed. I can't turn it any further. So that's the juice flow control closed off completely. Now, like the Kayfun 5, right now I cannot change my airflow position because the juice flow control is turned right down. So I just make sure you're actually turning it so that this metal piece here is turning as well. So I just, like I said, 1, 2, 3 half turns. Then you can pull this up like that, and then you can start adjusting it. Jesus, it's like pin the tail on the donkey here. Like, just, can you see where I'm going now? Bloody hell. And so that's how you adjust your airflow control. It's just turning around like that and then push it straight back down. But just remember that you will not be able to adjust it with the juice flow control tightened right down. And I think that'll do for the up close stuff. We'll go back up top. Normally I just switch the camera off and I go and scratch my arse and have a cup of coffee, but now I've got to keep talking. Right, up close. Cameras. We're going to this one, and we're going to that one, and we're going to this one. And who said Fanny Boz? Mark Elliott. No, why doesn't that surprise me? Right. It's a Kayfun. It vapes like a Kayfun. It tastes like a Kayfun. It is a Kayfun. It's, to me, it's what I never had the V3 Mini, and a lot of people spoke highly of the V3 Mini because of it was closer to the old Kayfun Plus Light and so on and so forth. For this, you can go down to 1 mil, and you can have a proper, true mouth-to-lung vape from this. You can also take it up to 2 mil, but it's still a restricted lung hit. Lung hit? Mouth to lung. It's a mouth to lung. I'll just adjust this just now. So 1, 2, 3. That's 3 half turns if you like. And I'm going to open this just airflow and take it up to the max. And here's my first gripe. Boink. It's really difficult to see. You've got these holes that, you know, when you lift up this bit here, so you've got all these holes round here. So the more holes that are, the more air that you're getting. I'm an old fart. My eyesight's terrible, and I really, really struggle to see it. There is no issue with changing the airflow. I don't think it's a big deal because your juice flow control's already open. You just pull it up, turn it, and you will get the airflow that you want. But looking at it, I don't find it the easiest to see what you're on. But that is, once again, I'm hitting 50 years old. My eyesight is shite. So for you young'uns, it's possibly not going to be an issue. But right now, I see, I have absolutely no idea. Right, that looks like that's max. Right. No, that can't be max. That's not max. It is max. There we go. Sorry, excuse me. So, oh, that really is nice though. The flavour from it's great. I really cannot fault this. For me, who was never a fan of the V4, didn't gel with the V5. If you are a mouth-to-lung vapor, and if you want something that's going to give you that true mouth-to-lung vape, then this does the job. It really does do the job, and I have for the past week been really enjoying it. And getting back to mouth-to-lung vaping again, I've been using this in the Berserker quite a lot, and yeah, it's not bad at all. Just reading the comments, but you can take it right down, and you know, I can't vape like that anymore. I just can't do that. And I'm using 6 milligram here. I normally vape 3 milligram, but I'm on 6, and it's just working just great. Right, little things I've found. Sorry, let's just do some comments. Right, I apologize. I keep forgetting that this is live. I can't get the drip tip off now because my hands are covered in e-liquid. Sorry, I've sucked dead air. Why, dick? Niggles, let's find a generic drip tip now. I do find that, and I don't know why, because it looks okay. The drip tip length here on the supply drip tip, I think it's quite long, because every other drip tip that I put on it, I tend to have, I don't know if you'll be able to see that, I tend to have a little gap. It's like my drip tip isn't going right down into it. Right, here we go. I'm looking at chat here. People are shouting out about something. So I'm going to listen. It's not often that I listen to people. People are saying that I didn't line up the correct dots with the right air holes when I put it back together. Sure I did. But I'll listen. I'll check it. Right, pop that out. Boink, boink. Yeah, that looks right. Take that out. Yeah, that's spot on. So that's 6. Sorry, this is the thing. When you put it back together, you have to make sure that all the holes line up. That's spot on there. I'll just put this back. Excuse me, guys, while I just do this. Pop that back there. Boink. She's in. I can't find the screw. Who said take the thing to bits? Why did you say that? Right, there we go. Right, back together. That's that drip tip. So that's one of my first things, is the just with aftermarket drip, not aftermarket, but just standard 510 drip tips, I find that they don't necessarily sit completely in. But that's a minor niggle. The other minor niggle that I had was on the metal tank. I thought the engraving should be darker on that. I thought it would have been a lot nicer if the engraving had been darker on that, but it's not a deal breaker as such, I suppose. Right, let's put that down. Okay. I shall now put this to its max airflow setting and show how it should work. Got it wrong. I'm sorry. I never lined up the holes properly. Hate you. So yes, I can do. That's a damn. I mean, that's a super restricted lung hit. I mean, super restricted. But then just pop it up, turn it once to the other way, and I'm straight onto the 1 mil setting. So I'll just do that just now. Doink, take it over, click, down she goes. Yeah, there you go. And that's a proper mouth to lung. And it really does intensify the vape when you take it down to that size of air hole. I've forgotten how to vape like that. Damn, what can I tell you? The other thing I found is that, you know, and this is to a lot of old Kayfun users, you guys will know this already, is before you open up the airflow, it's a lot better if you just tip it upside down and unscrew it then. It stops juice, you know, if there's any pressure build up in there, it stops juice flooding into the chamber, and it's par for the course for most RTAs these days. But I'm going to stop blethering for a second because I'm aware that there's other people that are watching. So I'm going to answer some chat here. Right, here we go. Right, if anybody has any questions on anything for this tank, then now is the time to start asking away. If you put it together wrong, there is a way. No, it's not bad. It's not Sebastian saying I might have put it back together wrong. I did the first time. I didn't line up the holes properly. So yes, that was an error on my part. It's now perfectly fine. So thank you to all the people that told me about that. Jason wants to know where babies come from. I can't tell you about that. Once again, if you are looking to buy one of these, they will be for sale for tonight on Creme de Vape in the UK. There are other resellers across the globe. I think some, not that they were supposed to, some people have been doing pre-orders for this already. But just people are asking, Todd, which one is it? I was going to try and keep this just to a review for the Kayfun Prime and keep out any other chit chat, but there are questions being asked, so I'll answer them. So this is an open for all. So some of these questions may not be 100% related to this device, but I'll try and keep them that way. So if somebody's asking how the Narcat is, I'm not going to answer that because I don't know. I don't have one. Right. Craig Harrison, I'm not answering any of your questions. You're not a Vape Show host anymore, so you don't really matter. Listen, I would put this is the same as, I would go for a Kayfun Light with this. The draw on it, you can take it right down. It's proper mouth to lung. It is proper mouth to lung. Building on it is, well, you saw, it's super easy. It's your choice if you want to put the flathead screws on or the Phillips screws. And yes, you'll be able to use little Clapton wires and things like that. But I would really, build-wise, it's entirely up to you. But for me, I have found I've done a 0.6 up to a 0.9 is what I've been building on it. But I have been using standard round wire, 27 or 26 gauge wire, because that's how I like to build. Is this more restricted than the Hurricane V1.2? That's a V1.2, that's a V, that's a V. I shall tell you right now because I've got one right here. Yeah, you can get a tighter draw in it than you can in the 1.2 Hurricane. So hopefully that answers that question. who else is asking? Dragon is asking, what about center hole size? Right, I mean, I'm kind of, some people say, me included, you may have an air hole on the bottom of the Atty that's 1 mil, but if you have an air hole under the coil itself that's say 1.5, then sometimes, yeah, I'm of the camp that thinks that you're not going to get a proper 1 mil experience with it. So I kind of guess that's where the question's coming from there. So the hole underneath, I can only tell you that I believe that it gives a proper mouth to lung experience, vape and flavor. It really does. But I have to be honest that I've been away from mouth to lung for quite some time. So you may have to take that with a little pinch of salt on that one. But that's just my honest hand on heart opinion on it. What type to flat wire are best for wattage mode? And that's nothing to do with this. Todd, do you have to do anything special filling so it doesn't leak? Yeah, well, you close it off. Just screw it right down, take the cap off, pump your juice in, screw the cap back on, turn it upside down and back it off. I back it off 3 half turns, or I think they say it's 4 full turn. No, 2 full revolutions to open it up. But I just do, 1.5 turns and then turn it back and vape away. So that's all I do myself. Keith Venables saying no need to turn it upside down to fill it. I never said that you had to turn it upside down to fill it. I said that when you open the juice flow control, I have it upside down. That's an old, come on, Keith, you should know that. That's an old RTA trick to stop any kind of leaking at all. There's no reason why you can't just open up, you can leave it standing up like this and just back it off a tiny little bit. But I'm just going off. That's just the way I've done it for years. Is it really any difference to a Kayfun 5 and that mouth to lung kit even? I would say yes, it is, because I think the chamber inside is smaller, Angsty. I really do think the chamber inside is smaller. So for me, yeah, I would say it's a bit better in that respect. Cat's Gone is saying, is the juice capacity more than 2 mil? The juice capacity is only 2 mil. There will be a 4 mil tank expander available, but you will not be able to buy that in the UK because you're not supposed to. There you go. Somebody saying, I thought this is supposed to be, Russell saying, I thought this is supposed to be a 25 mil one. There is a 25 mil, I think it's a 25 Kayfun V5, if you like. It's a cloud chasing 25 mil Kayfun coming down the road as well. Haswan is saying, Todd, Prime versus Berserker. That's entirely up to you. I think that the Berserker's, the Berserker's not a bad tank. It's not a bad tank at all. I've got one here and it's a good mouth to lung tank, and it's all down to your budget at the end of the day. That's your choice. If I was on a tight budget, then to be perfectly honest, I would just go for a Berserker. Simple as that. If I wanted to go, who am I kidding? If you're a Kayfun fan, you're going to buy one of these probably anyway. But if you're on a budget, then I'd be brutally honest, I would go for something like the Berserker. It's a lot cheaper, and it gives a comparable vape. I do get a slightly better vape quality from the Kayfun, but that's just my experience. Boba Fett, what Russian town did you get? St. Petersburg is the one that I got. That's to Bill Hubbard's asking questions. Kayfun Prime or Dean's Kawasaki? I didn't know Dean had a Kawasaki. How does it compare? Mark Winston's asking, how does it compare to the Kayfun Lite? Very comparable. This is a thing that I would avoid in a review, and this is one thing that doing a live thing, it makes it kind of hard. If I had a Kayfun light and all the rest of it and whatnot, would I buy one of these? For the filling mechanism, yes, I probably would. I think the way that you can fill this is a lot easier, but you still have all the turny stuff going on. It doesn't, I have not found, you know, with the Kayfun, the old Kayfuns, the sections you had to bind together, and you used to have to get your vape grips onto it and things like that. I personally find this a lot easier to work with than the old Kayfuns, and I would consider this I don't think it's that much of a progression from the Kayfun 5. I think, as I said at the start, it's a mishmash of the Kayfun V3 Mini and the Kayfun 5 smacked together, and that's what you've got. So if you're looking for something radically different, I do not think that it is. This is just a more dedicated mouth-to-lung RTA than possibly the Kayfun 5 was when you bought it stock. Chris Bishop is asking width including the airflow ring. That's a very, very good point. Calipers, as I said, it's 22 at the base. Right, that's with the airflow ring, Chris, it's coming out to 22.71 millimeters on my calipers, and it is a true 22 millimeters at the base, buddy. I hope that helps. It's it's the BMW 1M of the Kayfuns, Mark Elliott says. I don't know about that. Right, Sputs 40 plus it will wick higher VG than a light. That's a very, very good point. As I said, I'm using 80 VG in this, and it is wicking incredibly well. I've no issues with the wicking at all. And yeah, that's just answering a couple of other questions there. A few folk are asking about, you know, wicking, and yeah, as I said, 80 VG, it keeps up great. It's not a noisy vape either. It's not noisy in the slightest, or I don't think it is. I mean, that's me, 0.7 at 17 watts, and it's working away quite the thing. We'll pump the power up a little bit. If I can get my way through the Danny menu, I shouldn't really say that, that's not fair. I'm going up to 19 watts. That's tight. And that's about that. Craig's asking, what kind of wattage do you think it will be limited to at the top end? I don't. That's an open. That's a huge question. That's all depends on builds you're putting in and whatnot. I can only tell you that I've been vaping, you know, between a 0.6 up to 0.9, and the highest I've gone is 20 watts. It's a mouth to lung tank. It's a mouth to lung tank. If you're wanting to do vape over, I would say if you want to vape over 20-25 watts, then I don't think this is the tank for you. That's just my personal opinion. It is a proper tiny little chamber. You're only going to be putting in 2.5 small wire 3mm inner diameter coils, so it is not really designed for, you know, pumping the wattage through. It's not that kind of tank. Mr. Newmark's mentioning gurgling. Damien mentioned it in his review. I've not had that experience, but that's why you always watch more than one review. You know, Damien found that he had gurgling, but I haven't. That's just mine. Also, it's not bad. It's not bad. If you're a Kayfun fan, I would wholeheartedly recommend it. Well, I'm not allowed to say recommend it, but I would say, yeah, it's a good one. If it's within your budget, as always, there are other mouth to lung options out there, as always. How comfortable is the drip tip? As Haswan is saying, the drip tip is very, very good, actually. That's a palm drip tip on the top. It doesn't, I mean, like I say, right now I'm at 20 watts and it's not getting warm, hot in the slightest. It's keeping up quite nicely. I do actually quite like the drip tip on it. Where we go? How do you think the vape compares to Kayfun 5 with mouth to lung kit? as I said, the chamber, that is what makes the difference on this one compared to the Kayfun 5. That's it, really. If you had the mouth to lung kit in the Kayfun 5, then yeah, you'll probably get a comparable vape, but that smaller chamber like you had on the V3 Mini in this does give it that slight little edge. And I'm talking slight. I'm not saying that it's massive. It's just a small difference. Maca vape, turning it upside down helps stop gurgling. See, somebody gets it. And Hazwan, what does vanilla taste like? Vanilla, John. Well, there you go. Vanilla tastes like vanilla. Evil Deeds, what's the deal with the space under the coil, Todd? Does it make it slightly open? That's me. I'm going back to old Kayfun days again, or old, just RTs in general. When you put your coil in, just make sure that the coil's lifted up so that it's not going to... It's not so bad in this one, but you guys that remember the old Kayfun, you know, the actual nozzle used to come up just a tiny little bit. So you had to lift your coil up to make sure that it didn't get squashed down. When you push the fire button, it would short out. So that's mainly why I'm suggesting that. It's just a habit that I've got into over the years. James Graves saying small chamber, big flavour. Yep. Dome Junkies in the bath. And I think Voss says, I already have 3 Kayfuns. Why should I buy another one? I've no idea. That's your decision, my friend. That is not my decision. I can't tell you if you should or should not buy another one. All I can do as a reviewer is just show you what they've sent on to me and give you my humble feedback on it. Go and watch other reviews. Go and watch Damien's. There's German reviews that have been out all week. If you know German, go and watch them. I know Mr. Bissardo will be doing a review once he comes back from his travels. So there we go. Axel Vapor says that Kayfun Prime or bathing TJ. I think I would rather be washing the dog. Somebody's asking a proper question. Is the tank wobbly? That's a very valid point. No, it's not wobbly in the slightest. I've got it on there. Sorry, it's not moving at all. It's not moving at all. Yeah, that's nice. One thing I will say is that when you're adjusting, if you want to muck about with the airflow, when, you know, make sure you back off your tank, you've got your juice flow control open, you pull up, blink like that, turn it clockwise. If you turn it anti-clockwise, sometimes you can end up, if it gets kind of locked or it gets caught in a notch, you can end up unscrewing the tank from the mod. So I always find it easier just to pull it up and then turn it clockwise instead. But that's, you know, it's just something I've found. It's just something I've found. What I was going to do was I'm going to take this off and I was going to put it on another mod. Bill Hubbard asks, does it come with a BF pin? Yeah, you can squonk on it. It's awesome. No, you can't. No, you really can't. I'm putting this on another mod here. So that's just so you can see what it's like on a box mod. Sorry, that's not a box mod. That's a C-frame. Anthony, I'm sorry. I just called your mod a box mod. I'll get so much shit for that. Down we go to standard. Somebody's saying, so if the Berserker does the same thing for a third of the money, why? Why should you buy this? Don't get that. Don't buy it. Don't. If that is an issue for you, if you believe that, then it's quite simple. You go and buy the Berserker. I can buy a car that will get me to the shops to buy a pint of milk for £100 off of eBay. I can also go and spend thousands upon thousands that will do the exact same thing. It's choice. It's just, it's, you know, it's entirely up to you. Nobody's saying you have to buy it. Somebody's asking again, what's different about the chamber compared to the V5? It's smaller. And I think I don't really have anything else to say to you. I think I've kind of covered it. I'm just going to scroll back up through chat Do you know, I don't even know how long I've been talking for. Does anybody know how long I've been talking for? Possibly too long. No, that's not right. That's not right. Right, the height I gave at the start of the video, but I do believe I've got it written down here. 45.5 millimeters without the drip tip. Is there anything else? Let's just give you this here. We'll give you the quick hits. Top filling, quartz glass, liquid control. You've got peak insulators. I never said that. Sorry. 316 stainless steel. I said serial numbers and blah blah blah. That's everything that's on there that you need to know. I've been talking for 45 minutes. Right, that's a wrap. I'm going. I should have just done a review. It would have been quicker. Damn it. I'll give it a couple of minutes. If anybody's got any other questions, just please ask away just now. And then in 2 minutes' time, I'm going to call this quits. How does it compare to my favourite mouth to ling? Ling's an island in the west coast of Scotland, just in case you were curious. Mouth to lung. How does it compare to your favourite mouth to lung? Very well. It's very, very good. I will say that. Frederick Bry says he will not buy it because he's just quit vaping. That's awesome. And you buy Brett's saying you buy a Kayfun for the quality. There's tons of Atties out with less quality that cost much more. That's a good point as well. But then I will say that you can buy very cheap Atties these days that also are very, very good quality. It's yeah, it's an open thing there. Pigeon Catcher Hobbit says, do you enjoy your nipples being tickled? Yes, I do. Dean from Coil Vapes, good night everybody. And that is that. Right, I'm going. Thank you so much for watching. Go and watch other reviews. This will be available to buy tonight. This was not sponsored. I didn't get paid feck all for it or anything like that. It just arrived in my door and I thought I'd do a little video for you. To everybody that's going to Paris over the weekend, I will see you there and we shall have a riot. Thank you to Lisa and Keith at Creme de Vape. Did I say Cloud9? I'm sure I said Cloud9 earlier on. And well, thank you. Right, guys, good night. And thank you to Dean for keeping the moderation going. Bye.